Okay, our first problem is a product rule, and we want to end up simplifying things as much as possible when we're done. So looking at number 1, remember you're doing left d right plus right d left. And don't forget you've got the chain rule involved in all of these problems, so keep that going as well. So your notation is going to be important so that you can follow what you're doing. So let me see if I can get this going. Okay, that's better. All right, my stylus is misbehaving, so just give me 1 second. Okay, well, this may be a painful exercise, but hang in there with me. Okay, so I'm going to do left. So I have x squared plus 6, d right. D right's going to be 4x cubed, so I'm going to put it there. Plus right, x fourth minus 7, d left, and that's just going to be 2x. Okay, I got the 2x down there. Alright, so now what should I do? So I'm going to distribute and see if we can clean things up. So I'm going to get 4x to the 5th plus 24x to the 3rd plus 2x to the 5th. Now very carefully, it's going to be minus 14x. Okay, that's something that we sometimes neglect. So watch your signs. And this is still all f prime of x. So what can I do next? Let's see. There are some things I can probably combine. So it looks to me like I can say 6x to the 5th plus 24x to the 3rd minus 14x. And I think that's a pretty good answer there. You could always factor out a little bit. So let's say we wanted to factor out so that my numbers are easier to deal with. I can pull out at most a 2x. And then I could get, let's see, I need 3x to the 4th plus 12x to the 2nd minus 7. And I'm happy with that. So I would stop there. Okay, so I'm going to do the next problem, number 2, on the next slide. Okay, here's problem 2. So let's see, we have g prime of x equals left 2x squared minus 5x, d right, which is 3, plus, I'm going to come down below. So I did left d right plus right, d left, carefully because I've got a couple of terms here. So I have 6x, don't forget the squared, and then minus 5. Alright, so let's see if we can clean this up. So g prime of x equals, let's distribute that 3, and we have 6x cubed minus 15x. Okay, so now plus, I'm going to have to FOIL as we go. So plus 18x cubed plus 6x squared minus 15x minus 5. Alright, so now let's combine like terms. G prime of x equals, I have 2x to the thirds and then their coefficients. So that's this and this. So that's 24x cubed. Those are done. Now let's look for the squared terms. I only have 6x squared. So that's done. Then I have 2 of the 15 x's. Both are negative. So that's negative. And then I have minus 5. So let's see. There's nothing really I can do in terms of factoring. If I wanted to, I guess I could do this. If this makes it easier for you to work with, I would then do it. Look, I'm going to factor by grouping. So look at the first two. I can take out a 6x squared. That's going to give me back a 4x plus 1, and then minus, so let's see, I think I can take a 5 out, so I'll put a minus 5 here, and then that's going to make this a 6x plus 1. So that looks like it will be easier numbers to work with, so I think I'm going to say that's my preferred answer at that point. Okay, we're going to do number 3 on the next page. Okay, so f prime of x is going to equal left d right plus right d left. Okay, that's not bad. Alright, so now let's see what we want to do. At this point, I'm going to do greatest common factor factoring. So I'm going to rewrite f prime of x equals. So what do they have in common? Looks like they have a 2x in common. So I'm going to pull out the 2x, and then to get this term back, I need x squared plus 3. Bring down this operation, and then to get this term back, I need x squared minus 3. Okay, so that's kind of nice because look what's going to happen. My 2x stays, the 3's cancel, and then I'm going to multiply that by 2 times x squared. And really, at this point, the best way to express your answer is going to be 4x cubed. So that's a nice, neat answer. You should absolutely be able to get it down to that point. Okay, let's do number 4. Okay, here's 4. G prime of x equals, so left we have x squared minus 1 to the 4th power, d right, so that's going to be 5 times x squared plus 1. Don't forget your power, and now don't forget your chain rule. Okay, and then plus, down here, I'm going to do right d left. Here comes the power rule. Don't forget your power, and don't forget your chain rule. Okay, so let's clean that up. Looking at both of these, I am seeing that I have an x squared minus 1. I think I'm going to take out the x squared plus 1, because I can take that out up to the 4th power. So, well, let's do this. Let's clean things up first, and then we'll start taking some major pieces out. So I have a 10x. Then I have x squared minus 1 to the 4th. And then I have x squared plus 1 to the 4th. Make sure you can reconcile that. I got the 10x by the 5 and the 2x coming to the front. Okay, now I'm going to put another plus sign, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring the 8x to the front. You see where that's coming from? Here and here. And then let's do it in the same order, just so it's easy for me to spot what's going on. I have x squared minus 1, and that's cubed. And then I have x squared plus 1, and that's to the 5th. Alright, so this is major greatest common factor factoring. Okay, look at the 10 and the 8. The highest thing they have in common is going to be a 2. Look at the x's. You can pull out the x as well. Then look at the x squared minus 1 to the 4th and to the 3rd. So that means that you can pull out x squared minus 1 to the 3rd. Next, look at the x squared plus 1. You have 1 raised to the power of 4, 1 to the power of 5. So pull out x squared plus 1 to the power of 4. Now, I always use these brackets when I'm doing greatest common factor factoring. So, look what I have right here. Look what I need. It looks to me like all I need is a 5, so I can get the 10x back. And then I'm going to need x squared minus 1 just to that 1 power. So x squared minus 1. Okay, bring down your operation. Now look and see what we have. I need an 8x, I have a 2x, so I need a 4. Okay, I already have x squared minus 1 to the third, that's taken care of. Okay, I need one more of these. X squared plus 1. Okay, so now we need to clean up this last term. When I just clean up only this, I'm going to kind of do this off to the side. That's going to be 5x squared minus 5 plus 4x squared plus 1. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite this. This piece up here is very nice the way I have it. I'm just recopying it. Now look at what I did for the last piece. Let's combine like terms. So I have a 5x squared and a 4x squared. That's a 9x squared. I have a minus 5 and a plus 1, so that's a minus 4. And that's the best form possible. So this is your final answer right here. Okay, for number 4, we have a lot of powers involved, so we want to be very careful. So we're going to say, if I get this, g prime of x equals, okay, left, d right, okay, bring down the power, x squared plus 1, don't forget the power, and don't forget the chain rule, plus, okay, so I'm going to do right, which is x squared plus 1 to the 5th, d left, power, inside, don't forget the power, don't forget the chain. Alright, so now I'm going to rewrite this. So let's see how I want to do this, because I do want to get this to be a nice neat package. So I'm going to grab this 10x. I'm going to bring the 10x right there, and I'm going to say x squared minus 1, now that's to the 4th, and then I have x squared plus 1 also to the 4th. Okay, so that's to the 4th. Okay, so then plus, let's grab the 8x. Sorry, I keep moving this. We're going to grab the 8x. So I have 8x. Okay, 8x. Alright, and then I have my 2 powers. So that's going to be x. Okay, x squared. Oh my gosh, I'm having all kinds of stylus problems here. Okay. Alright, so I was able to write the rest of that in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some very nice factoring, greatest common factor factoring. So look at your 10x, look at your 8x. So a 2x is the biggest they have in common. Now let's look at our x squared minus 1s. And I'm looking, and I have them 2 places, and the highest power they have in common is to the 3rd. Next, look at your x squared plus 1, and the highest power those have in common is to the 4th. So that's going to now let me figure out what I have left. So looking at the first big term here that I've just underlined, I am missing a 5 to make that a 10x, and I am missing an x squared minus 1. Okay, bring down your operation here, the plus operation, so I'm going to bring that down, and then look at what I have. I need a 4 to get the 8x back. I have x squared minus 1 to the 3rd, so I already have that, and I need one more x squared plus 1. So now let's clean this up. So I'm going to change color for just a quick second, and we're going to do 5x squared minus 5 plus 4x squared plus 4. Okay, I had to distribute that carefully. Okay, so now our last line is going to be to rewrite what we have. So we have 2x, x squared minus 1 to the 3rd, x squared plus 1 to the 4th, and now let's combine like terms. 9x squared, and then a minus, let's see what I have. I think I have a minus 1. Right? So that should be our best form right now. So that looks good. Alright, so that's the form that you want to be able to get it to. That is attained by doing greatest common factor factoring. It leaves me with all factors, which is the best form to work with if I have to do anything else with that.